So why is fake happy the way? Part 2. Let's get it. Alright, well, fake happy is the way because that's society. That's society. Everyone's doing the whole fake happy thing. It's just what it is. It's accepted. It is what it is. It's in your movies. It's in your music. It's, it's conveyed by your friends in terms of what they say, in terms of how they behave. Same with your parents. Same with history lessons. There isn't a thing that doesn't convey some form of fake happiness, or essentially doesn't imply that if you do this or you do that, this will bring happiness, and therefore that's something that's embedded deep within. And it comes from so many different angles that you don't know what's happening, and you have to understand this happens from the day you're born. So, boom, that's a key thing in terms of fake happiness. Understand this is something that's deeply influenced by, previous relationships you've been in, and what the woman you're with or the man you're with is doing to be happy, or what they make you feel you should do to be happy. And you may feel that doing all you can to make them happy is going to make you happy. You assume also because of society, because of culture, and culture is a key word here, don't forget that things such as having children is going to make you happy, or that vacations are going to make you happy. This isn't the case. It's all pleasure chase. You think that liquor's going to make you happy. Liquor's not going to make you happy either. Neither are drugs. Neither is sex. Neither is money. Neither is success. Neither is being able to achieve this whole legacy thing. Having a legacy, that's not going to do it either. Even going into politics and being able to change the world in different ways, that in itself is not going to make you happy. See, that's something that has to be created within. See, in terms of fake happiness being the way, fake happiness is all anybody knows to go after. They don't really know to go after anything else. I mean, because what's the alternative to fake happiness? Well, that implies there's a real happiness, but you don't know what real happiness is, because who's really talking about real happiness? You have fake happiness masquerading as real happiness. That in itself creates an issue, creates a dilemma, wouldn't you say? So why is fake happiness the way? Well, fake happiness is the way because it's everything that your parents have told you. Now, yes, parents, that's obvious. And I'm not sure, I think I probably already previously mentioned parents, but I want to get deeper into the whole thing with parents, all right? Your parents tell you do things such as go to college or follow your passion or this and that. Obviously, your dad's behavior, your mother's behavior in terms of what they do for happiness, whether that's going to work, whether that's them going to school, talking about the school they go to, whether that's them drinking, whether that's them talking about the value of family. You think that's going to bring you happiness, but that's false too. No, that's not going to bring you happiness. See, family isn't going to bring you happiness. Going on vacations isn't going to bring you happiness. Going to school isn't going to bring you happiness. Getting a good job isn't going to bring you happiness. Doing what your family says isn't going to bring you happiness. Making your mother proud isn't going to bring you happiness. Or your father proud, that's not going to bring you happiness either. See, in terms of happiness, what happiness is connected. Actual happiness is connected to something that's outside of you. Meaning it's not something that's inherently part of your physical being. And your physical being in itself is a falsehood, but we're not going to get into why that's a falsehood. But let's say I'm right, and just take it for granted that I'm right, that your physical being is a falsehood. Then the idea that anything you do with your physical being can create happiness, such as partying, such as drinking, such as having sex, such as being success, the idea that could bring happiness, well, obviously that's BS, because your physical being is a falsehood. So anything that supposedly could stem from your physical being would have to be a falsehood as well. Why? Because the thing that stems from your falsehood, your false self, or this false idea of who you are, well, how can something true come from within something that's, untrue, your physical self? Why do I say that? Because your actual self, the true self, is non-physical. What would that mean? That means in terms of happiness would come from a place that's non-physical. So keep that in mind. Think about that. That's where the happiness is. That's where the peace is. That's where the serenity is. It's from a place that's non-physical, because you are non-physical. You have no reason to value this. Why do you have no reason to value this? Well, because society doesn't tell you to value it. You're thinking of money, 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 money. And when your mind hears something that's, BS, and it hasn't been deconstructed from within, let me rephrase that. When your mind hears something that, is true and actually calls it out for being false, it's going to it's going to launch internal missiles from within to pretty much blow up, tear apart any idea of validity behind what I'm presenting here, behind the idea that happiness is going to come from a place that's not physical, that you yourself, your physical being, is a falsehood. All of that. Your mind's going to break that apart. Your mind's going to tell you, I'm either talking too fast, or this is complicated, or okay, you say this and that, I've been there, done that. No, you haven't been there, done that. Your mind's telling you that because your mind doesn't want to explore it further. So, in terms of fake happiness being the way, fake happiness is simply the way because that's all you know to go after. You're not going to hear it talked about in mainstream culture anyway. You think real happiness is connected to watching politics and your political party winning. It's not the case on either side. Even if you're more left, even if you're more right. Oh geez. And I'm not even going to get on politics. I have obviously some opinions on, yes, I would say, and a lot of people probably guess what side I mean. There is one side that's psychotic and insane, but we're not going to get into the side that's psychotic and insane, because me saying that, conveying that, expressing that doesn't do anything to bring me happiness, does nothing to bring you happiness, does nothing to lead you in the direction that's going to bring you happiness, because your happiness is not connected to politics. In fact, politics is, we're keeping it a buck. Anything outside of just voting for who you think is the best, the most appropriate to run your city or run the state, outside of that, all the news and this and that, it's just unnecessary. It's a waste of time. You can get all the information you need in under 15 minutes and vote for whoever you need to vote for, and never watch politics or news or any of that for any time between election seasons. So it's essentially entertainment, which is another pleasure chase, another happiness chase, another false happiness chase, and that's just what it is. Because every single thing you're going after for happiness is just misleading. Now, understand, why is fake happiness the way? Because I could say all this, but it's just going to fall on deaf ears. Or if you do appreciate what I'm saying, it's not going to really matter, because your mind's going to trick you into forgetting about it 10 minutes after this video ends, or 20 minutes after the video ends, or 2 days after the video ends. You're not going to have any reason to really take it seriously. So much has to be broken up within. That's why you have to commit to this and keep it a buck. You need to commit for a lifetime. This means you need to work on yourself every day, because there's so much that has to be broken up within. When I say broken up within, deconstructed within, I am being extremely literal, because there will get a point, you'll reach a point in time when you literally feel energetic blocks from within breaking apart because of the work you've done. This is not BS, but there's a lot of ego backlash you'll deal with. And on a subconscious level, I believe there's a lot of humans out there that are aware of that, which is another reason they stay away from the work. See, on an unconscious level, there's countless humans that are aware that there's something off about what they're doing, but they don't want to explore that further. That's scary, especially if you're older, because if you're older, it means you've been wasting a lot of time doing the wrong thing, and you don't want to have to reconcile that idea in your mind. That's just too hard. If you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, you're like, oh, all this stuff has been wrong, this other thing is the way to happiness. You're like, BS. That must be BS. Like, there's no way I was wrong with everything I did in terms of my career, all the time I spent in school, all the time I spent building a family, all this time in terms of filling up my bank account. And don't get me wrong, yes, money's relevant, but money's gonna do nothing to bring you happiness for real. And what is real happiness? Well, I'd rather stop using the word happiness. Let's just replace it with peace. And peace is something you connect to. Think of it as a connection with the universe. But you can't have that genuine connection unless you undo enough within. You have to deconstruct yourself from within. There's a number of ways to do that, a lot of ways to do that, but you have to figure out what works for you. You do have your basic meditation. You have different schools of yoga, such as Kriya Yoga, which is something I utilize. But understand, as I said, I've been doing this for over 5.5 years, and I have not missed a single day, period. There is no exception. So it took a couple of years before, in terms of what my physical experience was, or what I was seeing, experiencing, and how I was interfacing with life. It took a couple of years for it to become truly significant, and significant to such an extent where there was a permanence to it, because that's the key thing. You want to have that permanence where minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, you are experiencing a different reality as from the work you've done, because it legitimizes it enough in your mind where, hey, you're in it till the end of time, because even if you're dealing with a lot of hardships still in terms of what you're feeling, because you're dealing with ego backlash and all this BS that happens internally and externally as a result of undoing all the blocks within, you still know, you intuit that you will eventually reach a place, inevitably reach a place, if you keep going, that is just unimaginably beautiful. And this is true, this is genuine, this is not a lie. There are wonders to behold which you cannot fathom, and there are supernatural powers to attain which you cannot fathom. Now, I haven't attained any supernatural powers, at least not anything to such an extent that would make that, by simply displaying it, would make a person that's a non-believer, even though I don't even want to use the word believer, non-believer, but someone who's skeptical, no longer skeptical, I haven't attained anything that's going to kind of impress a person to that extent. All I can say is, all is possible. You've been fed nothing but limitations. That's just what it is. That's society as a whole. And there was a book or something, a title of a book, How to Be 10% Happier. And I believe the author of that book, either the author of that book or someone who was commenting about that book was saying, the idea that you could be more than 10% happier than you are is ridiculous. I mean, that dude, that's bullshit. Okay, because I can tell you right now, in terms of happiness and peace, this is without any crazy money and success, because I don't have any serious money or success as of this point, at least not success in the traditional sense. But in terms of peace, in terms of what I feel within, definitively, without question, it is far beyond what anybody else is experiencing day to day. Now, I know I need to be careful with that statement, because people who want to be skeptical or want to feel the way will use that to be thinking I'm being arrogant. And hey, I can't lie, I kind of sometimes just feel myself, because I feel I'm pretty effing dope. I'm dope to have pulled off what I pulled off and made it to this point, and know that I'm not going to stop. But with that said, look, I do have humility for the fact that it wasn't easy for me to get here, and I have to understand that it wouldn't be easy for another person to get here or to accept what I'm saying outright. So it is important I humble myself. I don't want to come off as arrogant, but what I'm saying is how I feel, what's going on within. It's in such a steady place. It's in such a good place. And it's so positively affecting my environment, by the way. It's mind-blowing. Now, granted, a lot has broken up a part of my life. Like, even right now, in terms of what I'm dealing with, it's not a pretty picture. If I describe to you stuff I'm dealing with, you'd be like, okay, this dude hasn't achieved anything, or there's nothing. Whatever he's done is just effed up his life. And this is all BS, it's a crock. Why am I even listening to this dude? It's like, no, because what has broken up is coming back together to create something far more beautiful. And I promise you, I will give you a more full description of what is going on and why everything I'm saying is legitimate, and why it's necessary for things to be broken up, sometimes in an outright brutal way in your life, to be reconstructed and create something more beautiful. I'll explain it to you. I will make it make sense. Trust me, I will validate it. But what I'm saying is there are wonders to behold. So look, in terms of why is fake happy the way? Well, fake happy is the way because, doing the things, going after fake happiness, that's what's cool. Going to the clubs, that's what's cool. Just getting a nice outfit, for the ladies, that's what's cool. A nice car for the ladies, that's what's cool. A lot of cash for the ladies, that's what's cool. Yes, getting, a fine woman on your arm. That's what's cool. It's the cool thing to do. It's the trendy thing to do. It's what you see on social media. Ultimately, you want people to see you. And anything that allows a person to see you, anything that allows people to take you more seriously, at least in your own eyes, that's something that you feel is going to make you happy. And the things that you assume are going to make people see you are based upon what you're receiving from the mainstream. Now, this will get ignored and not taken seriously by the majority of people who watch this, but guess what? It's all good in a bag of chips, because people are going to do what they're going to do, but I'm going to express how I want to express. I'm making this video. You know why I'm doing this? I'm doing this because I want to express. See, right now, I have a heightened ability to speak on things, a heightened ability to create, a heightened desire to create. Pretty intense. There's a pull. So I am making this video because I feel a pull to do so. So whoever watches it, whoever doesn't watch it, regardless, I feel damn good about doing it, and I'm gonna make more. And there will be more videos coming. Don't worry, there won't be a long wait. Creating for me today is a lot easier than it used to be. And necessarily so, it's a lot truer. You see, I can't really create on the pretense of falsehood anymore. What does that mean? That means there has to be a level of truth that I resonate with, whatever I'm doing, to be able to create it all. If it's too shallow or too meaningless, I can't get into it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not some perfectly truthful, saintly dude. So yeah, there's some trivial stuff you'll hear me say and trivial stuff I'll put out. Sure. I'm not going to doubt that, I'm not trying to be perfect in this, even though ironically I'm connecting, the work is about connecting to something that is perfect. But what I'm saying is, this is true for me. This is why I can do it. Okay, and what I'm going to be doing, and what you'll get a sense of, is there's just a level of truth and high-mindedness, higher level of consciousness in what I'm putting out. There has to be, or I can't connect with it enough to be able to create in an effective manner. If I want to be able to create effectively, there has to be a level of truth to what I'm doing. I'm not just talking about truth, whether something's false or true or not. We're talking about ultimate truth. We're talking about truth with a capital T. I want you to think absolute truth. So yeah. And yes, I'm walking in Alabama right now. Cars are passing me by. And I got my Nirvana shirt on. And why am I talking about my Nirvana shirt? Because my Nirvana shirt is dope as fuck. Look at this. I got it at Walmart. It is dope. Wait, no. I think I got this Nirvana shirt at Target. But the shirt's dope. Look at this. Look at it. Look. Yeah. For real. Dope, right? All right. You have to ask the question, why would it be anything other than what it is? Is it a surprise? It's almost as if God wanted you to get in touch with the God within yourself. Fake happy is the way, because fake happy is aligned with the level of consciousness of humanity as a whole. That's another reason why fake happiness is the way. Okay? Why people perceive it as the way. I assure you it's not. Of course, what would legitimize me to the overwhelming amount of people who watch his content, who happen to peep the video, it'll be, is he a success? Well, how much money does he have? How much followers? This and that. Now, I can get the follower count up and this and that. And of course, money will come in time. But I assure you, it doesn't matter how much money I have or don't have, or you have or don't have. At the end of the day, it's all a happiness chase. And if you're not getting a real connection with, legitimate happiness, that happiness that's connected to a place that's non-physical, there's a problem there. There's limitation there. And it's not real. And you're just going to be chasing endlessly. It may not seem relevant to you because you have to taste enough of what's on the other side to take it seriously. Your mind is too entrenched in the idea of falsehood. It's too locked in. It's too fixated. That has to be undone. And that takes years. And people are like, it's not worth it. Why would I want to spend years doing this? Trust me. Now, you'll see in the videos I do and, what I release, just how far this goes, or how, you'll get more of a sense, because I, to a large extent, want to use myself as an example. I want people to watch my journey through these videos. It's going to be more about seeing who I become than giving advice along the way, though I very much intend to give advice where I can, but it's still up to the individual in terms of what advice they're going to take, what's the right advice to take, and whether they're going to be able to get it for themselves, or go after it for themselves. So this is the best way I could showcase what's possible. Was I have to showcase something beyond the money. And I think I could do that with what I can kind of convey or project through the videos, and in person if I happen to meet with anyone watching these videos one day. But Fake happiness is the way, because let's keep it a buck, and that's the easiest way. It's a lot easier to go after the things that are fake happy and what everyone else is doing, than have to explain why you're spending so much time alone, or you're not interested in doing this, you don't want to do that, and you're not wanting to hang around friends or family the same way. You don't have to deal with societal resistance. Fake happiness is the way, because people are too afraid of going after something greater, because there's risk involved. People are too afraid of the risk of going after something greater, because you're risking a lot, but the payoff, oh man, you have no idea. You see, I look at everything around me, and everything just looks prettier, man. Everything just looks so goddamn beautiful. I mean, let me can I switch? Let me see. No, that's not doing anything. That's a picture, but everything just looks just so beautiful. It's beautiful. This isn't BS, but it's like I'm more connected to the beauty. You understand? I don't want to speak about myself like I'm something that I'm not, or I just want to make it clear that my experience of life today is different. You could take that how you want to take it, but it's different. It's dope as fuck. It's dope as fuck. You know, I'm serious. I'm serious though. I'm serious though. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Anyway, I'm walking in Alabama. How long am I gonna be walking for? Luther Vandross ain't got nothing on me. Nah, I'm playing. But I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go. Anyway, I'm running for no reason. I just want to tell you, connect to truth at all costs. At all costs. At all costs. At all costs. At all costs.